transitioning into that zone?
I mean, we felt pretty comfortable because we practiced it in practice and we had great reps at it. So, just trying it today and it just felt like practice.
Yeah, it won't be perfect, but just the more we work on it, the better we'll get at it. So,
how much zone do you think people should expect to see from you guys this season?
I think you're asking the wrong guys.
True.
But yeah, you never know. Yeah, we probably will show it here and there. Just mix it up, so show the opponent something different every now and then. So.
I think you're on the floor. They come down against the zone and hit 2 threes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if that happened last year, the zone would be.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, work in progress.
Yeah.
We'll get better at it. We just put it in. So the more reps we get at it, the better we'll be. So it'll happen. It's not going to be perfect to start.
You guys have roughly a week, maybe 10 days total, until you've got that match against UK and Lexington. How are you guys feeling walking into that matchup coming up soon?
We feel great. We're going to just keep practicing, prepare for them as much as we can, and go out there and execute our game plan.
They're like maybe the #1 program, the gold standard out there. How fired up do you get playing against those guys?
Yeah, for a lot of us, I feel like it's a dream to play in an environment like we're going to play in. So it's a great opportunity for us, but it's not one where we don't think we can go in there and win.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know you redshirted. You played against Indiana last year, right? You played against Louisville the year before.
Yeah.
What are those atmospheres like, and are they intimidating walking into them at first?
Yeah, like I said before, I think it's just a great opportunity when you get to play against a team like we've had, like Louisville, like IU, like UK this year.
Yeah.
So I think it just, if anything, it brings us more motivation to play in a crowd or an environment like we've had, and we're going to have next week. So yeah, I think we're just all excited about it and ready for the opportunity.
That's good.
Go one more question. Yes.
I'm set.
Okay. I finally discovered this. It only took me like a whole month of preseason. You guys averaged a lot of assists last year, like 16.5, 22nd in the country. What is it about your personnel, not you two guys and the rest of you guys, that you have such a high assist count?
I just feel like that we trust each other a lot, and we play well together, and we know where everybody's going to be at the right time, and so I guess that works in our favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, trusting the guys that we have next to us, and trust that they're going to make the right play. So.
I do have one more actually. You guys have been a high-paced team throughout Nagy's tenure, and you kept it up here against Wilmington. Do you guys feel comfortable in keeping that high pace up for this season as well?
Yeah, I think Coach Sarge wants to continue the high pace. I think it's good for our offense. I mean, we've always been a good offensive team, so there's really no reason to change, I guess, the pace that we played at. But the big focus is defense. So depending on how we're playing defensively, I think you could see our pace change maybe a little bit, but I think most of the time we're still going to play at that high pace.
That's good.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Hey, where's your dad coaching?
Pleased with tonight. Tonight's a lot of things. Obviously, not an overly competitive final score, but there's so many things you're evaluating when you get in front of other people. We just talked a lot with our team about not changing who we've been, not changing what we've been like in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, just in terms of the character in which we practice and we prep. Don't let all of a sudden an audience change any of that. And I thought for the most part we did a good job of doing that. We really challenged our team to rebound the ball. We had a goal of being plus 20 on the glass, and we accomplished that. So overall, pleased. Very pleased just with the amount of guys that got in the game. Again, very unique, but some of those moments for our freshmen to get in there, even our new guys, Mike, Jack, and Ben, to put on the jersey and get for the fans. There's a lot to, I think, just kind of making that progression through this fall. And overall, very, very happy with tonight.
Oh, Keaton gave you a lift early, making threes like he did. Looks like that'll be a weapon for you guys.
Yeah, and it's nice to see the ball go in for him. 11 and 5, 0 turnovers. But when Keaton, his leadership and steadiness is something that I know as a head coach. I mean, it's invaluable. But I know for guys like Brandon and Alex and really top to bottom, just throughout this week, there was many times in practice where there was a coaching point to be made, and I was on my way to address it, and Keaton would beat me to the talking point. So he does a ton. But yeah, to see the ball go in for him, certainly that always helps the confidence. But I know with him, he's not going to waver if it's not going in.
How did it feel for you, Clint? I know you've been through a lot of things already as a head coach.
Yeah.
Just being in that seat, rather than one over from there.
Yeah, in the game, and I remember this even coaching 2 COVID games. I mean, this was completely different. It's just the build up to it that is completely different. Just the weightiness of a game and wanting your team to be right-minded and having a pulse, having your finger on that pulse for your staff, and just the amount of people that I'm catching emotion from and trying to make sure I'm steering that the right way. Always that build up. I felt that today for sure. But when I'm on the sideline in the game, competing with our players, that's continues to feel very natural, which I'm incredibly thankful for. And just the camaraderie with our staff. The staff has been tremendous, and I know they have a good feel for if I'm nervous, if I'm uptight. So leaning on those guys has been a big advantage.
You got to have essentially your entire roster come out and make their own impressions on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You had Alex and Hayden both contribute double digits in those final minutes when all the freshmen were out on the floor. I know you said you saw a whole bunch of different things that excited you, but was there anything specifically about the non-starting lineup that you had that was specifically exciting?
I'd probably start with Dre Carter, just some subtle things. Again, his voice, he's had a really good week of practice, and his voice when he's communicating, I know he's confident and he's into it. I thought Solomon did a good job of just taking care of the ball. The ball was in his hands a ton, but some of the unique lineups we had the last 10 minutes or so. Jack is a real threat. I mean, Jack is a really good player, and he just continues to produce at a high level. And then our 3 freshmen, Aiden and Alex and Andre, I thought they wore the moment, and I know the score, but I thought they wore it really well. They looked comfortable. They looked decisive. And then really, Ben Sutherland, he came in. I know he didn't get in the scoring column, but he came in. He played under control. I could tell Ben was listening to what we were saying in the huddle. Very just appreciative of his maturity. So really top to bottom, I saw a lot of good things.
Second half, you started out in a 2-3 zone, it looked like.
Yep.
And played,
Yep.
a whole bunch of the second half with that.
Yep.
How do you like that? How's it been looking in practice?
It's been good in practice. We just put it in about a week and a half ago. Excuse me. And I like it. I like some of the principles because it ties right in line with what we're doing with our man-to-man principles. So I don't think our points per possession was great. Of course, they hit 2 threes right away.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Still get my coaching voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have it in, and I like it. Yeah, I do like it.
Principles, man-to-man principles.
It's more of a matchup,
Okay.
and it's some of the man-to-man principles in terms of our gap. IQ is what I call it: when to rake, when to stay home, and then what you do when you get driven. Some of the switching out of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Raking is like digging it out of the post.
Correct.
We called it digging 50 years ago.
Yeah, we call it digging in the post.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Slow to like recognize this. So assist wise, you guys were 22nd in the country last year at 16.5 per game. What is it about this group? And I'm assuming there's a lot of the same guys. You know, that's a real strength.
Yeah. I like to think, you know, in recruiting and how the program's been ran and hopefully under my leadership, you know, just an unselfishness, just I would hope to say that's number one, but then obviously when you can recruit kids who can handle it, pass it, shoot it, and have an IQ, which I think we have a number of, and really just a roster that values trying to be right-minded and how we play. So I think all that's a byproduct of 22 assists and 11 turnovers.
Even like last season, it wasn't, you didn't have a high assist guy. It was 3.8, 3.7, but it was team-wide, it seems like, guys looking for the open man.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. I mean, we're not we're always just preaching hitting the open man. And I know that's simple. That's stuff you hear in grade school, but there's just a rhythm to motion. There's a rhythm to basketball, and everybody in our team, I feel like, has a pretty good understanding of when to make that next play. So yeah, I'm glad to see that showed up in our scrimmage as well. So that's good.
The other guy jumped out at me tonight was Michael, and I'm not going to attempt his last name. 10 rebounds. He just looks like a grown man out there.
Yeah, I'm so proud of Mike because he came in and you know, it's a brand new locker room, and he came in and had a great start. Made a good first impression in July. He had a hard July. Like he ran out of gas a little bit. We gave him some feedback. His teammates gave him some feedback, and he took it in, and he had an unbelievable August. So right away, he was saying to his teammates and staff, like, I respect what you guys are telling me. I'm going to take it in and learn from it. And he had a great fall. He has incredible hands. You know, his timing on rebounding and his ability to rebound out of his space is really good, and he's bought in. I mean, he's a humble kid, plays extremely hard, and I love that he really wants to win. I mean, he didn't win in his previous school, and he really wants to be a part of the winning program.
Yeah, he just kind of kid that goes after every rebound kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's every day. He doesn't in practice. He doesn't shoot around. You know, I've been getting upset with some other guys about their lack of rebounding, but maybe Michael's just getting every one of them. I don't know. But he's starting to see how that translates to winning.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with where he's at.
He had a 26.21 rebound game last year.
Yeah.
D1.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, we're
Like
hoping.
I'm telling you something you didn't know about.
Yeah. I mean, he played 12 minutes and had 10 of them.
Yeah, that's good. Jumped right in, I'm sorry. So we've talked a lot. The word you use is connectivity. For the layperson, what do you mean when you say that about your team, your connectivity?
Yeah, it's, you know, there's the things you can evaluate, which would be verbal. But when there's probably more important is the emotional piece to it. And similar to your question about our assisted turnover in rhythm of offense, there's just an emotional. When you spend every day with the same group of guys, you can get a sense when the room's connected and when it's quiet and disjointed or offended, upset, and you know that it just takes a very intentional group of men to come in and connect and not withhold, not get quiet, not you know, and that's not always easy for men and young kids. But it just absolutely bleeds onto the floor in terms of your ability to be connected defensively, in rhythm, in sync, covering each other up. It's almost a second language to what you see out there, and it just takes hours and hours and hours, a lot of trial and error, a lot of hard conversation, and again, with these guys, a lot of them have been together a long time, so that connectivity they have. It's just kind of unlocking it on the floor in a heated game, competitive game, hostile environment to get them to trust that, because I've seen it maybe more with this group than quite some time.
You have a lot of guys you can play. I mean, it probably was even hard to settle on a starting five.
Yes.
You know, it's going to be a challenge this year. Isn't it?
Yep. And I told them I was going to do the subbing. You know, I've always done that under Coach Nagy. I wanted to do it as the head coach. I want them to know who's putting them in the game. I want that connectivity with the guys coming in and out. And yeah, it'll be different every game. But again, that's where the humility of this group to just, if it's your night, step into it. If it's not, step into being a teammate and don't flinch at it. And so far, this group's embraced it.
We'll be trying to let you get your voice back.
Well, I got one.
All right, go ahead.
I'm good. Fire away.
He gets all the good ones. You know, still undefeated as a head coach, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
You got the match against UK coming up here soon. What will you be looking to do in terms of prep, and what are you looking for from this group?
Very simple. Yeah, very simple. I want to step in to the Lions Den with this team and not flinch emotionally. Very simple. And again, everything we just discussed the last 5 minutes, we'll know. In the huddle, man to man, we'll know who's present, who's in for the fight, who, you know, a run they make. I really want to get a taste, you know, feel for that with this team. And that's each media, physicality, and just our emotional temperament to stay right here. And that's our focus.
Have you seen that before, like at Indiana and then the Louisville game? You know, big arenas and
Yeah, you get a real look at just how do the externals, how do the fans, how do the moment hit each guy.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's the highlight of being able to be a Division I player. You get to compete on the highest level. I mean, it's the highest stakes.
it's the gold standard.
It's
there.
the gold standard, and it's a gift. You know, it's an honor to get to do that. So let's just make that the main thing. And that's just been, can we compete when it's a mundane day in September? And can it look the same way when it's November 4th, the opener at Rupp Arena? Can it look and feel the same way?
I looked it up. You beat Iowa and Iowa State on the road at South Dakota State, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. I'm an Iowa guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So from Iowa, it's my home state.
I didn't look at the box score, but you must have played all right.
Yeah, I played okay. That Iowa game was Fran's first game. Yeah, you know, you get a chance to compete in some of these venues, and again, the journey of all of it. Even tonight, that was my message to the team. Could we step into this game with the same approach? And I know it's cliche, but and can we be the same way November 4th and it just not waver? And that's the challenge, because it's a long year. Long year.
You see who they don't have one guy back. They have all new players.
Yeah.
So
Which-
connectivity, they're probably working on it.
Yeah. I know they're good. I know they're talented. I've watched a lot of Mark Pope. I think I love his story. Big fan of what he's about, and I love how they play. But yeah, they have a new group. So we'll see.
Better guard Brea, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. You guys good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Sorry for the boys.
That's right.
Thank you.